They will start calling you in places. If they are not calling you now, it's because you have nothing to offer. It's not a devil against you. The gift God gives you becomes a responsibility. You become a steward. A gift without character is a proud person going to kill themselves. Until you get over your ego, you won't become your best. To Genesis chapter 1. We want to finish that story. We all read chapter 1 perfectly, correct? We took time. You understand it. Let's review chapter 1 very quickly. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void. Darkness covered the face of deep. The Spirit of God moved. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. And God saw the light, it was good. And God separated the light from the darkness, and the darkness he called night, and the light he called day. And God said it was very good. In the evening, morning, first day. On the second day, God said, let the firmament be in the heavens, separating the waters under the firmament from waters above the firmament. And it was so, and God divided the waters, oh God, blah, blah, blah. And the evening, and God saw it was very good, and the evening and the morning of the second day. And God said, let the waters, the earth be separated from the waters, and let it form dry ground. And God separated the waters, and the dry ground, the earth became, the dry ground he called earth, and the waters he called seas. And the evening and the morning of the third day. And God said, let there be light. No. And God said, let the earth bring forth herb yielding seed, and fruit tree with fruit whose seed in itself after its kind. And God did that. And God saw it was very good, and it brought forth abundantly. And he said, be fruitful, multiply. And it was so. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament to give lights over the earth, and let them be for days and for years and for times and for seasons. And God did that. And he made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God saw it was very good. And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly moving creatures, everything who has seed in itself after his kind. And God saw it was good. And the evening and the morning, birds and fish, day 5, day 6. And God said, let the earth bring forth living creatures, animals. And God saw it was good. And God said, let us make man. And the evening and the morning was the 6th day. And God said, it's not good for man to be alone. No, that's in chapter 2. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Let him have dominion. Let them have dominion. And he made them male and female, and he blessed them. And he says, I have given you all things. And God ended his work, and God rested from all the works which he had made on the day 6, the evening and the morning of day 6. And the heavens and the earth were finished, and the host of them, and God rested from the works which he had made. He ended his work. And God blessed that day, the 7th day, and sanctified it because he rested from all his work. So that's basically day 1 to day 6 and 7. Quickly, what do you see from there with regards to creation? Because we are saying, one thing I think you got out of last week is you create money, you create things, and we want to see how that applies to us. We're not looking at creation story because we want to preach a sermon, because we want to teach you how to create wealth. How does it work in practical terms? That's why we are in chapter 1 and 2. What's the meaning of resourcefulness and resource? Start with resource and resourcefulness. Do not tell me I can't make it because I don't have money, I don't have a sponsor. That's a lazy person. That's a person that will not achieve anything. Who has resource? The meaning of the word resource. We can't be slow, we can't be slow, we can't be slow. We have to think very fast. The speed of your thinking is important. Practice it. Nobody was born at the speed of light. No, on this side. Resource, on this side, resourcefulness. Get ready for me. On this side, resource. Where's resource? Give me a definition. Come on. Yes?
A resource is a source of supply from which a benefit is produced.
So God, therefore, is your biggest resource. A resource is a source of supply. Read it again.
A resource is a source of supply from which a benefit is produced.
From which a benefit is produced. So you use a resource to produce a benefit. Go on, complete it.
For which it has some utility.
For which has some utility. You know what utility means, isn't it? When you say something has utility, you've heard of marginal utility, satisfaction, use. Something that you can use and give satisfaction, and that can drop. Okay? So, from which, what? Benefit from which there is utility. Go on.
Yes. Resources are can be broadly classified upon their availability.
So, resources can be classified according to availability. Go on.
They are classified into renewable and non-renewable.
Okay. So, you have human resource, you have natural resource, those are resource, financial resource, intellectual, those are resources. Do you understand? Something from which benefits can be produced that has utility. Any other interpretation from a different yes?
Oxford says a new or reserve supply that can be drawn upon when needed.
A new or reserve supply that can be drawn upon when needed. That's the Oxford definition. So it is something you use when you need to achieve your goal. Somebody else, resource. Yes?
A source of supply, support, or aid, especially one that can be readily drawn upon.
Okay, a source of supply or aid that can be readily drawn upon. Again, it's telling you it's something I can go to when I need it. Okay, resource. And God put all the resources in the earth. Now look at resourcefulness. Resourcefulness, yes?
The ability.
Go.
Clever ways to overcome.
Notice the ability to find quick and clever ways to overcome difficulties. The ability to find quick and clever ways to overcome. So I have 10 kwacha. Does that stop me from being a billionaire? No. So it's not the resource, is what? My ability to use what I have to achieve things. Another meaning, resource, yes? Resourcefulness.
The quality of being able to cope with the difficult situation.
The quality of being able to cope with, and the earth was empty without form. Darkness covered the face of the deep. Did he call an auntie? Did he call an uncle? Did he look for help from who? What was he being when he was doing this? He was being resourceful. You can have all the money in the world and you don't know how to use it cleverly, you will not be anything. Within this space here, Jesus said we can feed 5,000 and 2 fish. With 5 loaves and 2 fish, isn't it?
Yes.
What did he have? He knew that's a resource. He knew 12 resource. He knew his ability resource. How did he feed 5,000? Resourcefulness. Resourcefulness. You have all you need to prosper. You just need to know how to use it. Write that down. Right? That's a good place to write. I have all I need to prosper. I just need to, number one, recognize it, what my resources are, and number two, know how to use it, deploy it to create competitive advantage for me. How do I use my resources? So you must have what we call a resource-based view. You must have a resource-based view of your life. Jesus looked and did an RBV analysis of himself. And he says, I have resources. I have God. I have me. I have trained. Trained. That's why they are disciples. Trained disciples. I have organization planning. I have a network. So his disciples led him to their network. Why are they leading him to their network? Why would Andrew bring the boy with 5 loaves and 2 fish? Because he trusts Jesus. If he never trusted him, he will never allow him into his network. So the solution to everything this group will ever need is within this group. But the question is, will you deploy those resources? Would you use it? People sitting at home saying they are broke, they are lazy. It's not that they are broke. They will not use their mind. They will not think. Now, who created everything? God did. Now, why is there no plants? Why is there no herbs? Why? You can now complete verse 5. It says why? Because there's what? Why do you think that is? We talked about it 3-4 days ago. Why is it that, why didn't God grow it? Why didn't God do it? Genesis 1:26. Why didn't God do it? Yeah? Read it. Yes. Somebody on this side, open Psalm 115. Yes. God said, let us make man in our image. Uh-huh. 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 So God said they should rule where? Let them have dominion on the earth. So who is the earth for? Has God created it? Yes. But can God do it on the earth? Because God's word limits him from bringing anything on the earth without. He gave man dominion. Psalm 115:16. Psalm 115:16. Are you with me?
The highest.
Go on.
The highest heavens belong to the Lord.
The heavens, even the heavens of the heavens belong to the Lord.
But the earth he has given to man.
So the earth belongs to who? To man. So can God therefore do anything on the earth without a human being? So he says, God has created it, but it cannot manifest on the earth because there's no man to what? So God has given man dominion on the earth. Did you see that? The heavens belong to God. The earth he has given to who? Therefore, can God name anything on the earth? Can God bring anything on the earth? Why? He says, let man have dominion on the earth. Let him rule and reign on the earth. So God does not interfere on the earth without permission from a human being. So what is prayer? Giving God permission to come into your space. Authorizing God to come into your space. That's why he said, let your will be done. He's already finished his will. Without permission, he can't. So what is life? Life is a partnership with God. We're co-workers with him. And that's important. In verse 5, we'll come there. So, has God created the heavens? Has God created the earth? What's the problem? It's not on the earth, isn't it? So how many times do you see void now? Twice. One in the spirit and one in the physical. But guess what? The one in the physical is subject to change because there's creation in the spiritual. If there was no creation in the spiritual, there will be no creation in the physical because there's nothing holding it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if God hadn't made it in chapter 1 verse 11 to 13, you can't have it in chapter 2 verse 5, 6, 7, 8. Does that make sense? Good. Number 2, what does it bring about? So now God has the earth is void now, empty. So what must God do? What must God do?
Someone to manage.
God has to bring somebody to manage it. Who is he going to bring to manage it? Go back to Genesis 1:26. Let us make man to have. So God is now good. So why is man on the earth now? Because God has created man in the spirit for the earth. Does that make sense? So what is the earth to man? What is the earth to man? Man's assignment. So what does it bring about? Purpose. This is why we are going to study purpose. Because if you don't understand purpose, you don't understand why you are here. So did God just say, let's have children? Poor. Man and woman. Why did God make man and woman? In fact, let's not come to woman yet. Why did God make man? Because he had made chairs, he had made the internet, he had made 4G, he had made 5G, he had made 12G. You know, there's 12G, you just haven't got there yet. If they told you in 1986 that there was 5G, what would you say to them? You're a witch. You're a wizard. Even if you prophesied it in 1986, what kind of prophet do they will call you? False prophet. If you told them those days, 1986, that one day you won't have telephone without you ring, rugum, 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 then you try and make your hand go, make it go faster back because it's too slow. If they told you, you will be Siri, hi Siri, call Ellen. If they told you that, what would you say to them? It's heavy witchcraft. They said they are calling your name in the mirror. They're going to kill you. If they told you that you would have a plane where you have a bath in the sky and there will be a chef tossing food in the sky, what would you say to them? That's not aircraft, that's witchcraft. So, what does God expect you to do every day? Godcraft. So what is prayer? Godcrafting. You are co-workers with God, isn't it? Craft is to create something, isn't it? To craft something. But you are doing it through. So, Godcraft is to bring about God's plan, God's will, and all that. That's if you want to talk at that kind of language level. But don't ignore it, that's who you are. Okay? Now, let's imagine this. Let's imagine this. Let's imagine what we are saying is true. That God created man to have dominion over the work of his hand, over the air, so we are in the moon, over the seas, so we are deep down in submarines under. Don't you think it's witchcraft for somebody to create a submarine and stay for years under the water? You don't die. Where did that idea come from? From the source. So when can you say there's a limit on the earth? When human beings cannot interface. Once you are disconnected from your source, that's where there's scarcity. As long as I can connect to that source, there's always creativity and abundance. So when you understand that technology, you're never stranded. What do you say? Like Daniel, O king, be not hasty, give me time. Go to Daniel chapter 2, let's read it. So School of Wealth has its spiritual foundation. That's what I'm establishing for you. That's what I need you to see. So spirituality to you is not Sunday going to church. No, it's not trying to solve a problem. No, as in fire brigade, I'm going to die now. No, it's going to meet with God on a daily basis. Say, God, what have you created that I don't know? There are things I need to know now. So you are having that discussion with God. You are having time with God. You are actually running into your time with God because you know, I have an appointment. This is my creativity session. This is my production session. I need to download. I need to update. Something's happened overnight I don't know about. I need to touch base with the cloud. So, where did I say she open? 2, read from verse 1. Have to read very fast. Who's reading fast?
And in the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar,
Yeah.
Nebuchadnezzar dreamt dreams, wherewith his spirit was troubled and his sleep broke from it.
Go on. We're reading up to 22.
And the king commanded to call the magicians.
I want you to follow it. He's calling who?
The magicians.
Magicians.
And the astrologers. And the sorcerers.
Yep.
And the Chaldeans.
The Chaldeans, those are people that work with the stars and all those people, yes.
But to show the king his dreams. So they came.
So who did they call when he didn't know what to do on the physical earth? Who did they call? People that deal with the spirit. Go on.
So they came and stood before the king. And the king said unto them, I have dreamt a dream, and my spirit was troubled to know the dream. Then spake the Chaldeans to the king.
Tell us your dream, we will tell you the solution.
Then spake the Chaldeans to the king in Syria, O king, live forever. Tell thy servants the dream, and we will shew the interpretation. The king answered and said to the Chaldeans, The thing is gone from me, and if ye will not make known unto me the dream, with the interpretation thereof, ye shall be cut in pieces.
What does that tell you? When the life challenges hit, and you don't know how to connect with the spiritual, with your source, death comes. So that's when we die. Why? There's nobody that can consult. There's nobody to get inspiration. Don't look at it from a negative perspective. I want you to see that the solutions to things in the physical come from where? The unseen. Go on.
And your houses shall be made a dunghill. And if ye shew the dream and the interpretation thereof, ye shall receive me gifts.
That's such a principle, meaning that when you are the one that can connect to the spirit and get the answer, you're always higher than everybody else. Did you know Joseph? When he could get the answer, what happened? He became the highest. The one that can relate with the spirit and get solutions for mankind, that person always is the head, is the richest. They are the commanders of innovation. They are the ones that bring the new trends and the new fashion and the new models and the new this and that. They spend their time creating. So there's solution, there is answers, there is the future already. So you understand, 4th dimension. There's no time and space in the 4th dimension. So you are contacting it to bring it to the 3rd dimension. That is what we do. That's what Christianity is teaching you to. Watch people that you say are producing nothing, are struggling, are suffering. There are people that don't understand spirituality. Number 2, they only do it once in a while. They're not consistent. You want to see a creative person? Show me a person that's consistently in the spirit. Spends certain amount of time with God every day. Not for food, for relationship, to hear God's mind. Such people will lead the nation, will produce, will prosper. Such people. Where are we? Daniel, go continue reading. Yes. Yes.
But ye shew the dream and the interpretation thereof. Ye shall receive of me gifts and rewards and great honor.
I want you to see what magicians said, what ngangas of the day, what they said. Go on.
Therefore shew me the dream and the interpretation thereof. In 7, They answered again and said, let the king tell his servants the dream,
He said, maybe you didn't hear us the first time.
and we will show the interpretation of it. The king answered and said,
You're wasting my time.
I know of certainty that here will gain the time, because here see the thing.
When people don't know a thing, what do? They keep talking. Trying to confuse you, exactly. Go on.
9. But if ye will not make known unto me the dream,
So there's solution, there is answers, there's the future already. So you understand fourth dimension. There's no time and space in the fourth dimension. So you are contacting it to bring it to the third dimension. That is what we do. That's what Christianity is teaching you to. Watch people that you say are producing nothing, are struggling, are suffering. There are people that don't understand spirituality. Number 2, they only do it once in a while. They're not consistent. You want to see a creative person? Show me a person that's consistently in the spirit. Spends certain amount of time with God every day. Not for food, for relationship, to hear God's mind. Such people will lead the nation, will produce, will prosper. Such people. Where are we? Daniel, go continue reading. Yes. Yes.
But ye shew the dream and the interpretation thereof. Ye shall receive of me gifts and rewards and great honor.
I want you to see what magicians said, what ngangas of the day, what they said. Go on.
Therefore show me the dream and the interpretation thereof. And 7. They answered again and said, let the king tell his servants the dream,
He said, maybe you didn't hear us the first time.
and we will show the interpretation of it. The king answered and said,
You're wasting my time.
I know of certainty that here will gain the time, because here see the thing.
When people don't know a thing, what do? They keep talking. Trying to confuse you, exactly. Go on.
9. But if ye will not make known unto me the dream,
Psalms, that I may go and okay. So what am I saying to you? There is a frequency beyond your human frequency. That's what they said in Daniel chapter 2, isn't it? And if you want solutions that we can't have, go up there. They will give you that solution. And Daniel said, all I therefore need is what? Time. Give me time that I may go and consult. If Daniel didn't know how to consult, what would Daniel do? Kill me. I'm finished. Kill me. But because he knew, he said what? Give me what? Time. Then continue reading for me from Daniel chapter 2.
18. That they will desire.
So to inspire means what? To breathe in a spirit. Is God still breathing into people? Yes. He didn't stop at Adam. He's still breathing. School of wealth is God breath. Go on.
That they will desire mercies of the God of heaven concerning this secret.
So if you don't know, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Adam came on the earth. He didn't see grass, but grass existed before he even was born. Go on. That this secret will be revealed.
That Daniel and his fellows
should not die. So if I am not healthy, wealthy, what is my problem? There are some secrets I don't know about. So what do I need? Secrets. And the secrets, the Bible says, belongs to God. So I must go to the source of the secrets. Can I get there? Yes. Because I'm spirit. Go on.
And his fellows should not perish with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. Then was the secret revealed.
Then was the secret revealed when? Ooh, look at this. Then was the secret revealed when?
Unto Daniel in the ninth vision.
Why is it that you don't have secrets? You sleep too much. You can answer the question yourself, isn't it?
Yes.
When was this revealed? In the night seasons. Go to chapter 25. Go to 11. Go to, not 11, go to 16. Psalms. Then you go to 25. Then you go to Job. Psalms 16. Not 15. Psalm 16. Are you there? Look at it there. What verse? The whole chapter is beautiful. The whole chapter is beautiful. Look at verse 11. Thou shalt show me the paths of life. Where? In your presence. Where will God show you the paths of life? In his presence. Go up. The Lord is my portion of my inheritance. Verse 6, the lines that follow me upon places have goodly inheritance. Verse 7, I will bless the Lord who has done what? Given me counsel. My heart, my reins also instruct me when? That is how they understood this. So Daniel knew because he was a good student. You instruct my heart when? In the night seasons. So what do we do at night? Night is not for sleep. Night is for interactions with frequencies that there's no congestion and the connectivity is high. Am I talking? Watch anybody doing great things. They spend their nights well. Even the ones you say witch and wizard. The frequency, no congestion. Connectivity, crisp. Lazy people sleep. Creators awake. Antennas high. Receiving downloads. Sending up, uploading queries, receiving answers. Daniel said, when was the secret revealed? In the night seasons. Who wrote Psalm 16? Go up there. Who wrote Psalm 16? Where did Daniel learn from? He was reading the books of David. Verse 7 says what? Thou wilt show me. I'll bless the Lord who has given me counsel. My reins means my heart. Also instruct me when? In the night season. Psalm 25. Psalm 25. Look at what he says. Are you there? He says, look at it up there. Oh my God, I trust in thee. Let me not be ashamed. That's in verse 2. Let my enemies not triumph over me. How? Verse 9. The meek will he guide in judgment. Judgment is decision making. And the meek he will teach his ways. All the paths of the Lord are mercy and truth. And he keeps such, and unto such as keep his covenant testimonies. Then he goes on to say, what man is he that fears the Lord? Verse 12. Him shall he teach what? The ways. My soul will dwell at ease. This, his seed shall inherit the earth. Verse 14, everybody. The secrets of the Lord. So God reveals his secrets. Are with them that what? Fear him. And those people, he will show his covenant. Now, if you know this knowledge is given to you, what should you be doing with your nights? Now, what kind of prayer are you praying in the night? You see, with this understanding, what kind of prayer are you praying? Is this prayer of give me 5 kwacha, 5 kwacha? What prayer is this? Interactive, say it again. Innovative, innovational. Innovational means you are seeking. Daniel said, "O king, we'll go and desire the secret." So it means that at this time you are coming to sit with God. Let God move over your spirit and release. Thou shalt show me the paths of life in your presence. So I am coming out of the presence of man. I'm coming into the presence of God. And I'm coming to know what paths, what ways, what is it you want me to do? Not just do every business. And then the Bible says, Daniel, from the first day you set your heart to inquire, I have come to show you, give you information. So based on what you sent upward, this is coming to you to give you light on it. Go to Daniel chapter 2. Let's conclude there. So I've given you several things to show you what Daniel did. And based on what? Hope you know Job is written about the same time as Genesis. When you go to the calendar of the Bible, Job is as old as Genesis. Some people even say Job is the first book of the Bible. Okay? So that knowledge has not been hidden. God has been doing it for a long time. Therefore, if anybody will engage in God on a daily, consistent basis in the night seasons, that person will come with great creative things. It's impossible for that person not to be productive. So why would people remain where they are? Lazy. Lazy. Very religious, not spiritual. Am I doing it because witch is pursuing me? Am I doing it because there's no food in my house? Am I doing it because they're going to fire me from a job? No! That's the way they taught you prayer. Not from this perspective. A creator, you see, you don't do this. Go and ask CEOs of the biggest companies. They have a time where they are just there seeking inspiration. They're seeking actually solutions for a thing, and they lose everybody else, and they have a place they go and they spend time very quietly, because this inspiration comes when your spirit is quiet. That's why a lot of people tell you once they wake up from bed, that time is the clearest time to down. They've not gotten their brain into thinking all the problems of life. That window. For a lot of people, when you are sitting in the toilet doing your business, your mind is so blank. Things start dropping. In the shower, things start dropping. Because your mind is not thinking about all your problems. There's a time in your life that you find, some people is when they're exercising, their minds are free, quiet. Then you start getting things coming in. And you call them ideas. You call them, oh, I was inspired this day. I don't know how I started thinking about it, but this idea came to me. That's how people make billions. 20. And people start introducing you to places you will never on your own enter. But because you showed your dexterity and skill, they will start calling you in places. If they are not calling you now, it's because you have nothing to offer. It's not a devil against you. The gift God gives you becomes a responsibility. You become a steward. A gift without character is a proud person going to kill themselves. Until you get over your ego, you won't become your best. Question is, how do you operate? What excuses do you make from delivering excellence? What you are learning is not for your notebook. It's for you to learn how to operate this, and there will be no problem. It's rule disease, rule injustice, because of the light in you. You've been in the wrong environment, so you haven't grown the way you ought to grow. But you see, the problem is this. You've so become conformed to your environment that they want to remove you to go in an environment where you grow. You say, no, This is me. I must be there. This is who I am. You so identify with somewhere that will not make you grow.
Vote for Dr. Richard Silumbe on the 12th of August 2021 for national empowerment.